Alan Watts, the author of the brilliant book, The Wisdom of Insecurity, says something mind-blowing. You're anxious because you're chasing security in a world that was never meant to be secure. We keep trying to lock life down, to define ourselves, to plan the future, to make things permanent. And that chase becomes the very thing that disconnects us from life. I've done it too. Tried to become someone, to prove something, to get there. But what if there is no there? What if peace isn't found in arriving, but in stopping? The truth? The past is gone. The future isn't here. The only real thing is now, and most of us are missing it. Here's something that hit me hard. We build this version of ourselves, the ego, that says, I am this kind of person. I need to look like this, succeed like that, be wanted, be in control. And that whole identity, it's mental. It's not your breath. It's not your body. It's not the moment. Your body breathes without asking. It heals. It feels. It responds honestly, even when your mind lies to you. You don't need to think your way through life all the time. You need to feel your way through it, to trust the deeper intelligence that's already there, not in your plans, but in your presence. Here's what I took away from the great book and actually applied. Maybe these help you too. First, breathe. When you're spinning in your head, come back to your breath. It's the one truth that doesn't lie. Second, ease off the pressure. I used to think tension meant I was being strong. Absolutely not. Relaxed presence. That's real strength. Third, do one thing today with no outcome, just for joy. Dance, sketch, sit under the sky. Let yourself exist without earning it. Fourth, notice when your ego speaks. That voice that says you're behind, you're not enough, you're not worthy of love, you're too late. It's not the truth, it's just noise. And fifth, be in your body. Walk barefoot, stretch, eat slowly. Life isn't happening in your head, life is actually happening in your senses. And I've been thinking about these simple truths for a while, and I'm allowing it to gradually sink in. But still, I find myself lost and unsettled at times. You ever get that feeling where everything should be okay, but something inside you is not aligned? Like, on paper, you've got things together, but then there's this quiet anxiety that just won't leave. That question, why do I still feel off even when life looks fine, led me to this book, The Wisdom of Insecurity. And as you can tell, this book really gave me something deeper. It reminded me of the beauty behind perspective. Let me stay real with you. There's this quiet ache that follows me sometimes. Maybe you've felt it too, like life's moving, things are happening, people are around, but inside there's this tension, like you're waiting for something, but you're not even sure what, like you're almost living. And at a time when I needed a kind of truth to realign myself, something that didn't ask me to fix myself, but to see myself, to be with myself. This book isn't about becoming someone. It's not about solving your anxiety by achieving more. It's about the idea that maybe, just maybe, the way out is to stop trying so hard to escape the very thing we're meant to feel? What delivers one simple but radical truth? Life is uncertain, and that's not a problem. It's the point. The more we try to control life, lock down the future, or build a stable self-image, the more anxious and disconnected we become. He explains that true freedom doesn't come from control. It comes from surrendering to the present moment, from letting go of our obsession with identity, security, and the future. Here's the paradox. The harder we try to secure happiness or become someone, the more we miss the only thing that's real, this moment, right now. Why we suffer? Watts argues that our suffering is largely self-inflicted, not because we're broken, but because we've been taught to live in our heads, always planning, judging, regretting, or hoping. We're constantly, but the truth is, the past is memory, the future is imagination, the only real experience is now. The real you isn't who you think. Watts challenges the idea of the ego, that little voice in your head you think is you. According to him, your true self isn't the thinker, the planner, or the judge. It's the living, breathing awareness underneath all that. You aren't separate from the universe. You are the universe, expressing itself briefly as a human being. The ego fears death, failure, rejection, because it believes it's separate. But when we realize we're not isolated entities, we're part of life's flow, that fear starts to dissolve. Watts's philosophy, simple, but, kind of earth-shaking truth, is we're all trying to secure something that doesn't actually exist. We want control, stability. We want to know we'll be okay. So we build routines, identities, belief systems, relationships, plans, savings accounts. Anything that gives us the illusion that life won't surprise us. But here's the thing. Life will surprise you. That's its nature. And resisting that is the root of the anxiety that eats us from the inside. You know that feeling like time's slipping away? That low hum of, I need to figure it all out? Watts says, and I truly felt this. That's not because something's wrong. It's because we're trying to make solid what's meant to flow. The mind is a beautiful tool, but it's noisy. It drags us back into old conversations, old pain, regret, guilt. Then it hurls us into the future. Worry, pressure, anticipation. Rarely is it here in the now. Rarely does it let us rest in the moment. What hit me in this book is the reminder that this moment, right now, is all we've ever had. We spend so much of our lives planning how to live, we forget to live. We're always thinking there's a better version of us, a better life, just around the corner. But the truth, life is only happening now, not tomorrow, not after you heal, not when you finally feel ready, now. So here's where it gets personal. The ego, that voice that says you're behind, you need to prove yourself, you're not enough. I know that voice, intimately. It's been the driver in my life, more times than I want to admit, and Watts just cuts right through it. He says that voice isn't you. It's a bunch of ideas you've absorbed, stitched together over time, trying to protect you from pain. but it keeps you in fear. It keeps you separate. It keeps you small. He said something that hit me. You are not a separate observer. You are the universe, experiencing itself. That cracked something open in me. Like, what if I stopped trying to be someone impressive and just allowed myself to be someone real? The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. That shook me, because it's true. I've spent years chasing becoming. But what if I've always been enough to begin with? If you're feeling lost, anxious, or like you're falling behind, you're not broken. You're just listening to a world that tells you you're never enough, that you have to do more, be more, fix yourself. But this book reminded me, and I hope it reminds you, that you're not here to perform. You're here to live, not in the past, not in the future, but now, this breath, this body, this life. I want to read that quote from the book to you one more time to let it sink in. The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple. And yet, everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. Here's my final reflection. This book isn't about giving you a formula to fix your life. It's about inviting you to wake up to the life you already have. Messy, uncertain, fleeting, but real. If you're constantly battling insecurity, the irony is that the battle itself might be the cause. When you stop chasing certainty and start trusting the present moment, your breath, your body, your life as it is, a quiet wisdom begins to rise from within. That's the wisdom of insecurity. And that, my friend, is where all the wisdom really is. Sending lots of love to each and every one of you, and until next time, take care.